Golly. I tell you, that wind has stopped for a while, folks, and it's making it a lot more enjoyable out here. That's not a bad fish at all. Matter of fact, that's a darn good one right there. And he's got some beautiful quit. Golly, he's fat. Come on up in here. Oh my goodness, I got to show y'all this fish right here. This fish right here has got some beautiful colors on it. That and thick. Yeah, he's not just a big old fish, but he's beautiful. My. I'm enjoying this. These little swim baits are no doubt dynamite. Dynamite. Very dynamite way of catching fish. Especially crappie. Look at the colors on that fish. That is textbook for a crappie in the Tennessee River. Healthy fish. Not a very big one, but healthy. That's what I've been catching. Now, that don't mean there's not any big fish in here. In fact, they could be. Of course, the ultimate test is just to keep on fishing. If there's some big ones in here, I'm fishing correct. And a lot of times, the bigger fish don't show up until they get ready to bite. That's just crappie. I mean, and that's just a fact. That needs to be written in the book of crappie. Let's let him go. Alright, there he goes. Boy, he come out of my hand. Well, good morning, folks. It's Richard Gene the Fishing Machine here. Overcast morning here on the Tennessee River. That was the first fish of the day. And I caught him on a bait that I used to use a couple years ago. And I need to start back again. It is a shad fry Z. Blue Glimmer is the color made by Z-Man. Very tough, durable bait. And it's nothing but a mini swim bait. And the way I fish it, or one way that I fish it, is I make a cast, let it fall to the desired depth where I think the crappie are, and just swim it back slow. The tail has a very natural tight action, sort of like a sassy shad, if y'all remember the sassy shad. Except for this is a very, very tough, durable bait. And I have it tied direct on 8-pound test braid using a little Garcia reel right here, a little Revo. 8-pound test high-vis braid with a uni knot. I'm just using a uni knot. Now that's a 1/16 of an ounce wedge head jig head with a little red sickle hook in it. That really doesn't matter. It might help. But that bait right there has a very, very good action on the tail simply because it's segmented behind the hook. You see you have 2-3 sections right there. It makes it really limber. Comes through the water very natural. Light action rod, 6.5 foot light action rod. So let's get back on this spot right here. And right now the water temperature is at 66 on the surface. Now this bait right here is another simple way to catch fish. All you need to do, and nothing more, but is just cast it and retrieve it back, folks. The tail action does all the work. Let's look at this in the water right here, if we can see it. Y'all see that tail action? That's all you need. That's all you need. Anything more than that, it looks just like a shad trying to get away. The reason these fish is in here, let me mention it again, is simply because there's a lot of shad in here. Anytime you have a bait that has a tail action like this one, it just pays to just fish it in a subtle way. And that's just a straight, steady wind when it comes to crappie fishing. Y'all see this right here? That's how crappie shows up on this fish finder, on this little hummingbird. That was a group of crappie right there. That's how crappie bunch up. They'll bunch up in a little tight school like that. And the reason why they do that, even though they're coming out off of this deep water, and I got some deep water behind me, onto this flat, the reason why they do that is they work together, just like any other species of fish, just like white bass, but not quite as aggressive as a white bass, but they will work together when it comes to feeding on these shad. But that's how they do. They'll group up in little groups like that. Whether they're deep or shallow, it really don't make any difference. Sometimes the colder the water, generally speaking, the bigger the group will be and the tighter that school will be. But this blue glimmer that I'm using right here, folks, now the water's real clear right here, is an excellent, I'm talking about an excellent color for clear water. Blue glimmer. It's very, very effective. It's about like a blue ice color to me. It's very, very effective in clear water. There he is. That's a good fish right here. They're all good ones, but this one right here is a good one because he knocked the fire out of it. Golly. This is a lot of fun right here, folks. Let's flip him in here. Golly, that's a heavy crappie right there. My. Folks, I'd like to take a little time to show y'all something about this crappie right here. In other words, look how he's hooked right there. Right in the top of the mouth. Not only is that the best place to hook them, how do you hook them that way? And I try to hook them that way every time, is by keeping your rod in a position where you can set the hook straight up. I mean straight up. Most of the time that's where you can hook that crappie. Crappie are notorious for getting off, because if you hook them in this clear membrane right here, as they're fighting, it'll rip a gash. A lot of times the hook will, and that's how it results in a lot of fish that gets lost. And that's because of a sideways hook sweep, usually. Okay, but a straight up hook set will get these more fish in the boat for you. I just wanted to share that tip with y'all. Alright folks, let's let him go right here. Let's resuscitate him just a little bit. And there he goes. Woo, catching another one is what I'm talking about. Woo, woo! Bait types like that has a lot of tail action, once you find how deep they are, and I've always mentioned that, it don't matter if you're fishing shallow, mid-depth, or even deep. Once you find how deep the fish are, keep that bait at that depth. But actually, that is one of the best little swim baits I've ever used. It's shaped like a shad, has the tail action like a shad trying to get away. Very, very precise presentation. And what makes it extremely effective is I'm using a 1/32 of an ounce jig head. That way I can really reel it slow, and that keeps that offering real close to the fish at all times. I mean, it's right in front of his face for a longer period of time. That's what I'm trying to say. It makes a big difference, that light jig head. Uh-oh, I'm fixing to get a drilligence. I don't know what that was. Okay, it scares me. Even though it's dark and overcast, these fish oftentimes will be up under there anyway, folks, up under these docks. It don't have to be a sunny day for these fish to be up under here. I can tell you that. Crappie like dark areas no matter what. Even on dark days, they like to get up under these docks. Just Bring it back real slow. There he is. Golly. Boy, that fish knocked the fire out of that. That's a good one right there. I sort of set the hook a little bit too hard on that fish right there. Come on up here, boy. That's a good one right there, folks. I tell you what, that swim bait, like I said, it can be used in a lot of different ways. You don't just have to straight retrieve it. Now, if you're in a... We're going to let him go right here. We're going to make another cast. But you can work it just like a jig because that tail is very limber. Very limber. Let's let him go. Right there, that was a good fish right there. I'll show you what I mean real quick. We're going to take a little time out right here to show you how limber this tail is. Right, let's take a look at this. Now I was fishing it like this. Instead of just well, I got some trash on here. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, instead of just fishing it like this, see that tail action, just a straight retrieve, I was letting it fall. Y'all can see that. That tail is still moving on the fall. So it's a good bait for that too. And that fish nailed it on the fall. We're going to turn the back around here. See if we can't catch our another one like that. That fish hit it real quick, so evidently there was some competition right there. And I'll show you what I mean by competition. What we're going to do is catch another fish, boom, like that. That was a quick bite, and it was a hard bite, aggressive. All right, now let's let it fall, let it fall, let it fall. He'll probably grab it on the fall. Grab it, boy. My goodness. There he is. Yep, we got him. I knowed it. Golly. It's not a bad one right there. Let's flip him up here. Good fish right there. So there's two different ways you can catch them with this bait right here. Looky there. Ain't that beautiful? Let's let him go right here. That wind is really getting up. Of course, it's that way. When you find them, the wind starts getting up. There's another one. Golly. My. There's some fish right here now. There he is. Golly. Come on up here. Look at there, what a fish, folks. That is a fat Bessie right there. Look at there, what a belly. My goodness. Big old fat fish right there. Let's let him go. Wow. These fish are extremely scattered up, folks. That's just all they are to it. They're really scattered up. That's why this is a very effective technique. See, I got a bite right there, but it was a bluegill. I'm constantly covering water. I'm fishing slow and taking my time, but that bait's in a different part of the water at all times. Let me put it that way. So I'm covering a lot of water, combing areas, and a lot of times this is a great way to catch those big crappie in the fall. I mean them sure enough big ones. There he is, right off the corner of that dock. Good fish. Doggone good fish. Yep. Good doggone, that is a pretty fish right there. Look how colored up. Look at the colors on that fish, and look how short he is. Golly, that is a classic crappie, folks. My. That is a beautiful, beautiful fish right there. Let's put him back right here. It's getting dark and overcast right now. Whoa, I got to catch another one. If I don't, I'm gonna scream. Whoa. Alright folks, I'm gonna tell you there's a lot of different jig heads that work well with these little swim baits right here, but this, I believe I mentioned at the beginning of our fishing trip, is called a wedge type head. If you can look at it, it kind of points out or tapers at the front part of the jig head, like this. And it cuts that water real well. That allows that bait to come through the water real clean, which gives that tail a chance to have the action that it's designed to have. This is a great technique for searching for fish and trying to figure out the depth of water that they're in. Once you do, then this bait right here is a killer. It's just a great, simple way to catch crappie when they're shallow. I want to say, God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all the great comments. I read each and every one of them. Love each and every one of y'all. God bless y'all. Hey, man, thank y'all for everything y'all do. Whoa. Talking about whoa. The adrenaline bad. There's people everywhere around here, and I can't help my adrenaline. Hey, man, adrenaline. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good fruit.